people want to build wealth, but a lot of times they miss the main ones. A lot of people actually miss two out of these four pillars of wealth creation. And that, let's break it down today. If you're missing, first of all, you need to understand what are those four pillars that we are referencing whenever we talk about the four pillars of wealth creation. Because if you're able to figure it out, you'd realize that you're able to going to build wealth. So it's about the four pillars of wealth most people miss. And that's what we're talking about today. And if you missed the Smart Investing Workshop on Saturday, that was absolutely explosive. So you can get a replay, just send me a DM and we'll figure that out. Everyone, welcome. Welcome here. And basically today we're talking about the wealth pillars that that a lot of people get to miss. And if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina, doctor of business and of technology, and I help professionals turn their income into real wealth. So we keep showing up, right? We keep showing up. I hope we are all had a great weekend. That's perfect. That's great. That's great. And today we're talking about the four types of wealth. And if you miss one of these pillars, you might stay stuck when it comes to money. It might be that reason why you're living paycheck to paycheck, or the reason why you're not building wealth. So you want to stick around to learn what are those four pillars that helps you build wealth. A lot of people miss at least two of those wealth systems, wealth pillars, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to be breaking it down. And if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology. And I help professionals turn their income into real wealth. Happy Monday to you all. Today, it's talking about the pillars of wealth that everyone gets to miss. And thank you for sharing the life. Basically, before we start talking about the four pillars of wealth, let's talk about the four pillars or three pillars for this life. The first thing is get your daily at me. Second thing is keep tapping out the live for at least 3 minutes. Third is put a comment in the section. Where are you joining from? Let me just meet you. Those are the three pillars. Send a message, put a comment in the session. Where are you connecting from, or what is your goal when it comes to building wealth? Anything at all. So it's before we start talking about the four pillars of wealth creation, let's talk about the four pillars that it takes to start investing, right? It's four pillars to start investing in this life. Number one, get your daily at me if you haven't done that. Tap out the live. We try to get to 10,000 in the first 10 minutes. Put a comment in the section. Then put a comment right there and just say hello. How are you? So I know you're here, Texas. You're connecting from what's that? I don't know. Paul's K. Oh, all right. We have both the TikTok and the YouTube community today. So welcome here. Talk about effectiveness, productivity, and today we're talking about the four pillars of wealth that a lot of people miss. Because if you understand these pillars, it's going to help you. Poland, oh, that's beautiful. All the way from Poland. How are you? I'm in Texas, in the United States. And if you're just meeting me, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm Doctor of Business and Technology, and I help professionals turn their income into real wealth. Today, we're talking about the four pillars of wealth. So you see this that I have right here. Whenever you want to build a house, there has to be a foundation. There has to be four pillars. If you miss all those four pillars, no matter, even if you're doing a skyscraper or whatever, you must have the four pillars. These four pillars are what helps you to build wealth. Like, these are the house, right? If you want to build a house, there has to be the foundation, and then there has to be, Masese, you are from Hawaii. Welcome. How are you? Hawaii. Hawaii is one of the places that I love to visit. I have been to Bora Bora and all of those places. Hawaii is also on the list. So good to have you. Thank you for sharing that. And for every other person that just joined, welcome. Today we're talking about the four pillars of wealth, right? If you understand it, definitely you're going to build wealth. No games, and I'm going to set it as clear as possible. So for those that are on TikTok, do this. Get your daily, the three pillars that we always talk about in this life. Get your daily at me, cost you 1 cent. Tap out the live. We try to get to 10,000 likes the first 10 minutes, and at the same time, get to share it. Press the forehead and share it with your friends and family. Let's share. Let's do that. Thank you so much. And really, what we're talking about today is the four pillars of wealth. Have you found any house at all, that when you're building it, no matter how small or big, large it is, that you will not have the four walls, right? The four walls. You don't have because they typically start with foundation, and then there'll be the four corners. It is called the four pillars of wealth creation. It's just the same strategy, right? And then you can put the roof on it. Basically, that's just it. This is one of the things that my kids get to do. So I just picked it just to use it as an illustration. Now, understanding that it's impossible for you to have a house that will not have the four walls, right? That's the same thing. That's the same mistake that happens if you're just building wealth and you're seeing that, okay, you focus on just two things and you don't have the other two. That's what it basically means, that you're not going to build wealth. That's basically what it means. So how then do you build wealth? What are those four pillars? The first one that people always talk about, or people know about, or they focus on, it's your income. People, I mean, your 9 to 5, that's the same thing they taught all of us. Go to school, get a good job, and of course get a good job, and of course start doing, start enjoying your life, right? But how has that helped? That has not been beneficial, that just because if all that you do with that income, right, is you use it just for lifestyle, you see that you're struggling, right? That's what they call paycheck to paycheck. However, if you want to build wealth, income is just one step. So if you also go and do, you take this, let's assume the red is income, for instance. This red is one pillar, is income. If that's all that you focus on, and you don't focus on the other three pillars, you see that the house is going to crumble. But if what you do is you have this pillar number 1, pillar number 2, pillar number 3, pillar number 4, you'd see that you would build wealth. And the goal is not just wealth. The goal is financial freedom. So whenever I talk about wealth, it is not just about money. It is basically your time wealth. So ability to live life at your own terms. It is also what is called the peace wealth. Being able to sleep with your eyes closed, at night, not worrying that, oh, my employer can tap me and just say that, oh, the job is over, right? That's just the same thing. Because think about it. Here in the US, the Spirit Airlines, 17,000 employees just got laid off just because, the company went under. Those are things that keeps people up at night, right? So think about it. If all that you focus on is income, you will lose your sleep. You will not have that peace wealth. That's why it is very important that you have that peace wealth. And I will do the personal sharing on myself. Can we all power share? Can we just as we do here in this life, just so we make sure that there's nobody missing out? Thank you for doing that. So that everyone can get to come learn the 4 pillars. We understand if you just think about income only. And let's do that. Let's tap out the life. The 3 O's, right? The 3 O's is get your daily at me, put a comment in the session, and of course, share the live and continue to tap. Okay? All right, El Pao. Yes, you got it. Thank you. And then let's keep tapping out the live. Let us share with our friends and family. Let them come learn the 4 pillars of wealth creation. And how was the smart investing workshop on Saturday? I hope we all made it I know that you were there, Paul. I hope you found it really valuable and you've taken all of the actions from that live. It was great. That's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, great. Great. Let's share the live. Let's power share. Let's tap out the live. Let's put comment. Let's do the 3 O. Let's do the 3 O or the 4 pillars. Let's call it the 4 pillars in this. Let's invest right now. You bought your first ETF this morning. Wow, that is absolutely beautiful. AAQ, thank you for sharing the life. And for anybody that missed out on the free smart investing workshop on Saturday, and you want a replay, you want to know how, send me a DM. Yes, you are so happy when you bought the VOO, right? I'm telling you, because that is, you got it, you got it. Now you're going to set it up. Yes, and that is one of the pillars of wealth creation. So if you missed that, we're talking about the smart investing workshop that happened over the weekend on Saturday precisely, which was really life changing. So that's amazing. It's so amazing. If you missed it, send me a DM, and we'll see how we can take care of you. So let's tap out the life, the four investments in this life, right? The four pillars. As you are coming in, we're talking about investing, right? Think about it. When you invest in this life, what you realize is that you continue to have more people. We will continue to, when we have more people, it's also going to motivate some of us as well. This group is going to get larger, and it's going to also be beneficial for you, because think about it. If you invest, to put investment is just something in the ground, put something in the ground. I remember, yes, I wanted to buy three, but I didn't remember the other ones. Okay, so the other one, there was the QQQ, there was we had VOO, we have QQQ, and of course we have the SCHD. Or simply go get the replay, right? Simply get the replay. I did share the link if you want me to. Yes, yeah. Okay, yes, yes. Those are the other two. Or go and get the replay, because there are way more. Remember, it is not just this three. There was the, oh yeah. You remember, we have way more. We have way more. So great. And everybody that is wondering, we have a smart investing workshop on Saturday, and that's what it's talking about. All everyone, Opal just did his own first investment today. Isn't that amazing? If you missed it, yes, you did not, you missed the life, but then you can get the replay. Okay, you can definitely get a replay. But today we're talking about the four pillars. Understanding that what he's talking about right now is one of the pillars. A lot of times what happens is that people just focus on one of the pillars, and this is one pillar is what we were taught in school. One pillar, which is basically your income. But what you were not told is that this income, right, is not going to build wealth. It doesn't, right? It's just a tool that is going to help you. If you use it, depending on what you use it for, that's what is going to help you build. And let's tap out the life. Today, I'm going to be on our case. Let's do the trio, or the four pillars. Let us get your daily at me right up there. It costs you 1 penny, right? Tap out the life, and of course, get your share with your friends and family. Press my forehead, then your contact is going to, you see your contact, and then you're going to share with everyone right there. Let's power share, and then we keep on tapping out the life all the way. We try to get to 10,000 within the first 10 minutes, right? So that we can, it's almost like you're basically investing, right? That's how that's just the spirit of the investing. That is a way. If you put something in, you get something in return, right? So you put in something. This is exactly what it means by investing. You don't want to understand. You're trying to think, what is investing? This is what is investing. Investing is something that will give you something in return, right? This is the method of investing. So let's tap out the life. Let's share the life. Let's get our daily at me, right? And of course, put a comment where are you connecting from, what city, what state, right? Or what is your financial goal? Just one comment. I want to make sure that we are interacting, and just so, because that also helps the algorithm understand that we're here. We're serious about business, and we're serious about investing in this life, and we're also serious about investing in our finances. So first pillar, like I said, is your income. It is basically your income, and that's your foundation. Thank you so much for doing that. That is your foundation, okay? But then that income, if all that you do, I met Saturday, I'll drop you a DM after. Oh, that's great. Yes, AQ. Oh, you missed that. Desmond, thank you for the follow. Right? If you haven't followed as well, do that as well. And if you haven't subscribed on YouTube as well, do that, guys. Do that, guys. Today it's going to be amazing. All right. You can see that this is a house. Whenever you want to build a house, it requires four pillars and it requires a foundation, right? Now, income is not one of the pillars that a lot of times people would always despise that income. And that's why I don't take this for granted. Because except you got an inheritance or you won a jackpot, a lot of times I mean, 90% of the time, you start from, especially, you start from your income. It's what you do with this income that's going to help you build the other three, right? If all that you do is what the society tells us, eat the fruit of your labor, you'd realize that you will stay stuck and it's just going to be eating fruit of your labor. You continue to work all the days of your life to 67 now, 65, 67, and you realize that you have not fulfilled for purpose. You look back, I'm like, how did I get here? When did I get here? I was just 20 years. I was just 20 years old. I remember when I was 20 years old. But how old am I right now? I am in my 60s. That's how fast the time goes, right? And you realize that you've not all the things that you thought that you ever want to do. You realize that it's all gone. It's already passed you by. And that's why, but what you now do with this income to change that story. And trust me, this is the story of so many. I mean, I get to have clients. I'm like, oh, I'm in my 60s right now. I want to start investing. I'm like, okay, there's something you can do and there's something you cannot do because you are close to retirement and old age, right? But even if you miss that, you have your children, right? You have your children that you can teach them this strategy as well so that they don't miss it. And then you are building another level of generation that is going to start building wealth the right way. So basically, that income, don't use everything. You use that income to fund a bit of your lifestyle. Let's tap out the life. Thank you. Let's tap out the life. And you missed both. You missed what, Invali? Let's tap out the life and get your daily at me with investing today. Here we're learning investing, and one of the things we're doing is get your daily at me, get your tap out the life, put a comment in this section, just say where are you connecting from, what is your investment goal, put it right there, and of course share the life. No children over 65, no money. Oh, I'm sorry, but you'll be fine. You would definitely be fine. Okay, so the first pillar of wealth creation, right? The first pillar of wealth creation is that income. Now, like I said, this income is basically a tool. When you this tool, this particular one that we have here, right? This particular one, what you do with it, it's what is important. Take some of it, use it to fund your basic needs, right? Basic needs of life. And I'll take it here. Let's take this, and I want to really do illustration today. This is your income, right? If all that you do with this income is to just fund lifestyle, right? That's all that you do with it. You'd realize that there is nothing left to be able to build the other pillars. So it tells you that for you to be able to build other pillars, it starts with one thing. You have to keep as many from here. And then once you have as many left from there, then you can start building the other kind of wealth. Because this is the one that flows through here, that flows through here, and that flows through here. So what is this? What is this one that is here? This one that is here is something called investing. And what sort of investing? Smart investing, which is the one that we had on Saturday. So if you missed it, it's okay. You can definitely send a DM for a replay, right? And we'll figure that out. You mean, yeah. So basically, it is the foundation. It is 4 pillars, right? The 4 pillars, right? So once you have that income, right? Once you have that income, the next thing you want to do is smart investing, because you want to ensure that it is protected, right? That is why you hear about because there are different types of investing. You can, whenever we talk about smart investing, you might be talking about the stock market, right? And yes, you might be talking about real estate. You might be talking about businesses. Investment simply means anything that puts money in your pocket, right? So, like right now, you tapping out this life, you doing all of this is going to give you some form of return, right? You would learn more, you would understand more. Basically, that's what that's going to be doing for you. Now, however, if you so you take that money, you put it in the smarts that we have here, that we're talking about here. It's basically investing in the stock market. But what sort of investing? You invest in ETF, exchange traded funds, like a basket of funds. So instead of you buying individual stock, you're buying basket of stocks, right? Multiple of them inside one basket, where you make that one purchase. And for all of the opal, you said you made your own first purchase. If anybody joined, any other person joined the smart investing, the free one on Saturday, please put in the comment, confirm that you have made your first purchase. You have bought your first ETF. But for the people that did not join, it's okay. What ETF did I recommend? We have the VOO. So there is the S&P 500, right? S&P 500 is one of the ETF that is very popular. As a matter of fact, it has returned close to like, it's returned over 8%, because I'm even saying it in the past 10 years, it returned about 14 to 15% averagely, right? So I am here. I talk about protection. Protection layer is very, very key in this life. Protection layer. So we don't do individual stocks, give you a 50-50 chance. You lose your money, or let's say 33% chance more, you lose your money stays stable, or you gain your money. So, but then with the ETF or smart investing strategy, your risk is lower, because you are diversifying your risk, because your portfolio is also diversified. Because with one purchase, right, you see that you're not just putting with one purchase, it is not just it's not just one stock. You are purchasing, you could purchase 100 stocks, you could purchase 500 stock, you could purchase 3200, just one click, and that's it. It's Saturday workshop. Oh yeah, absolutely, it is. Send a DM. It is. Yeah, did you miss it, Ambel? Did you miss it? ETF with 15 weeks, absolutely. Yeah, all of that you're talking about, invalid and Ambel, all of that you're talking about, you would see there's so many of them, 14, 15%, 18%. Yes, so you can find it. I'll share the link right after. But today we're talking about the four pillars, and we are on the smart investing one right now. Right now. So, why is this? Income is the first one for those that are just joining. And then you say, ideally, I would tell you this. I know people don't like this whenever I say this, and I'm going to be losing a lot of people whenever I say this. But either ways, I'm still going to say it. If you get your income and you can push it to the point where you can put toward your income can be at least 30 to 50% of your income can go towards investing, you would realize, hey Crystal, welcome, how are you? Welcome, bro, or sis. Yeah, if you can put 50%, 30%, 30 to 50% of your income into invested, right? You set it aside, you only leave on a 50%. And this is just for a certain period, for maybe 5 years, 10 years, or, I'm not saying you should do it at once, but instead of you getting a salary increase, you get a pay raise, you change job, and then you allow lifestyle to follow it, right? You allow that lifestyle to follow it. What you're going to do is you're pushing your income. Good. Okay, I'm good. You're pushing your income is increasing, but you're keeping your lifestyle, right? So you're keeping your lifestyle low. Basically, that's what you're doing for for like 5 years or 10 years, right? If it's possible. Even initially, you might be at it might be at 10%, you might be at 15%, you might be, but let your goal be 30 to 50%. I'm not telling you what I did not do. This is what I did. And that is because it's a function of you wanting to get freedom earlier than any other person. That's what you're doing. And that's what is called delayed gratification. delayed gratification. Basically, that's what it is. It's like, okay, you're denying yourself for today so that by tomorrow you are able to enjoy the reward, right? You're putting it as a seed. Think about it. You put it as a seed right now. Can we do something? If you have a coin, can you put one can you throw $1, 1 cent? Buy anything, roses or something that is 1 cent, 1 cent. And just so you can have an idea, it's just like you delaying something, like it's a delayed gratification. Like you invest it right now and then you let it grow, right? You let it grow over time. I just wanted to prove something to, whenever we're talking about investing, if anyone wants to put roses or something, anything that is like 1 cent, I'm not saying 2 cents, anything, just put it there, right there. And there's something I wanted to show when it comes to investing on this. That's why I'm asking that if anybody wants to do that, 1 cent purchase, just put it on the live, and you would see what I mean after that. So basically, think about it. You invest, smart investing. You put it, you delay the gratification now, right? Instead of you saying that, oh, you know what, I want that pause right now. Oh, thank you, Creso said, well said. You delay the gratification. You delay it now for a greater good. So think about it. You save 30% of your income or 40% of your income. It means that, okay, now you're not buying, you can afford a Mercedes, but you're not buying a Mercedes. Now you can afford some of those shoes that your friends are buying, but you're not buying it right now because you're saying that, you know what, I'm not going to buy right now. I'm going to buy it later, right? I'm not going to buy now. I'm going to buy it later. And because of that, because you do not buy now and you take that money and you go and put it into investment. Investment would, if you put your money, let's say you put $10,000 and all of us, or $10,000 is giving you 10%. That is you having at least $1,000 every single month. I mean, every single year on your money. Your 10,000 becomes 11,000. By year 10, it becomes 20,000. That means your money has doubled by year 10. Remember, if you use that same money to go and buy a shoe, that shoe, who is still wearing a shoe after 10 years? Even if you still have the shoe is valueless, right? But if you even use it to buy a Mercedes now, right? By year 10, you probably the Mercedes has zero value, or whatever car has no value by year 10. But what should you do? You should take some of that, your income, right, and put it towards, and that's why I say this part is very, very important, because this is the part that a lot of people miss, especially people that make decent income. I see people that are less than 100,000, right? They're not earning up to $100,000, six-figure salary. They're not earning up to that do better in this thing that I'm saying. But when a lot of people, once they get to cross that 100,000, that six-figure, that's where the problem starts. Because we always think that, oh, you know what? Now I suddenly arrived. Now I'm good. Now, all of those kind of things. And thank you all for tapping out the live, subscribing. So we do the 4 pillars. Remember, we're talking about 4 pillars of wealth. But here in this life, let's do the 4 pillars of this life as well. Let's do daily at me. Let's tap out the live. Let me know where you are connecting from, or what is your investment goal, right? Put something in the comment. And of course, share the live. Press the forehead and share the live, right? On YouTube, you guys just put a comment and tap out the live, like the live. Okay, great. All right. Andrew just did something. Okay. Thank you so much for the roses. That is an investment. That is a form of investment. And you would see, Andrew, stay all the way. Okay. Stay all the way. All right. Stay all the way. So great. And so basically, what I'm saying is that in terms of just let us save as much as possible. That's why you said this part, I would say the delayed gratification piece, absolutely important, right? So if you can do it 30% to 50% of your income, It's okay if you can only do 10% now, but know that in another 3 years or when you get a new job, right, you are going to get it to 30%. That means you're not going to increase your lifestyle. You not allow lifestyle inflation to take over. You just basically you don't allow lifestyle inflation to take over. You just basically do the same thing consistently and just keep your expense low and increase your income. As income is increasing, then you have your 30% to 50% income right there. All right. So, and that's why I said the income is the first pillar. Then the second pillar is the smart investing. Now that 30% to 50% or that you now have, okay, this is the door, right? The 30% to 50% that you now have, that you put some of them towards some of them towards what's it called? You put it towards smart investing. In fact, it's true. I used to make 30,000 a year and save 5,000 yearly. Now I make bank. Now I make bank cannot save. And oh, now you make a bank, right? You make a lot and you cannot save 300. I mean, trust me, that's it. It's just. I mean, suddenly once you get to that six figure, that's where the floodgates of all the credit cards comes your way. Don't you know what's going on? All of a sudden, before you go to 100,000 Mac, all of us before then, realize that okay, you hardly have mails that has your telling you to come and apply for credit card. But the minute you get to six figure income, all of a sudden everybody wants you. You start saying all of those, oh, you have been qualified for this, you have been qualified for that. It's a trap. That's it. It's a trap. So remember that. That's why you don't need to fall into that rut. Let's keep tapping out the light. Thank you for doing that. It is part of investing in this life. Our goal is to get to 10,000 first, and then we move on. Let's keep tapping out the life. All right, and sharing out the life. I know we're locked in. Let's do that. Let's do that. Even if I don't remind us, let's keep doing that. It's non-stop. Thank you for doing that. So that smart investing. It's a trap, not a cost, but you just need to make sure that you handle it better, right? You handle it better, and that's why we're having this conversation. So that 30% to 50% of your income, put it here, right? Smart investing. What you're going to be doing is here, if you leave it here, it's just going to be taking as expenses. Here is the income and expenses and liabilities and all of those things, right? But here, if you put it here, it's going to grow. Right, on last Saturday, we had the smart investing workshop, right? And over close to like 40 people or more, even though we had close to 100 people registered, but at least close to like 40 people showed up, which is absolutely impressive for 4 hours on Saturday. So that is almost, we were like a 40% goal, which was great. And everyone that was there, they've made their first investment. So basically, you see here, you put it into something called smart investing. Smart investing simply means ETF. So if you are new, you're just meeting me, ETF, or you don't know anything about ETF, put 1 in the comments if you know about ETF, put 0 in the comments if you do not know about ETF. So I know if I should talk about it or I should just move on, because we had 4 hours on Saturday. 1, okay, Andrew knows. Were you in the live? Did you join the training? Put 1 if you know about ETF. And for those that joined the training, put it in on a blue pillar. On a blue pillar. I put it okay. We put it on a blue pillar. Okay, got it. No, okay, you did not. Okay, 1 a pound. Okay. Who else? Put 0 if you do not know. Opal, Andrew, Imabel, I am Bell. Sarah the nurse, user S33 Seka. Put 1 if you know about ETF. Put 0 if you do not know. Okay, 0 you do not know. Okay, all right. Okay, so let's go. Any other person, please put it. I just want to know as many people, right? So that 1, okay, second knows. Perfect. So yeah. Okay, invalid, All right. All right, so ETF is basically exchange traded fund. Ajay, welcome, and every other person that joined the live. get your, if you're just joining, we're talking about the four pillars of wealth creation. And then, in that process, you're saying four pillars of investing in this life as well. Four pillars. Get your daily at me right there. It costs you 1 cent. Do your send a message, put something in the comment, just say hello or whatever, or where you connecting from, or what is your investment goal. Just put it in the comment and do the power sharing, share the life, right? Share with friends and family. And lastly, let's tap out the life. Let's tap out the life. Let's see where we can get to. Let's see, Oregon from perfect. Hey, Ajay, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, let's get our daily at me. Cost you 1 cent, and of course, tap out the life. Tap out the life. Yeah, welcome. Tap out the life, and of course, yay, that's great. You got it. Tap out the life. Send a message in the comment, right? What's your goal? Where you connecting from? What's your investment goal? Or just say hi so that we can, and at the same time, power share, cross my forehead and share with every other person. Today is about four pillars of wealth creation. Start with your income here, the amber, right? And that's it. And then we are going to, so some people said, this from Port Harcourt. Oh, Port Harcourt. Come on. At times I feel the neutral. Oh, I'm well, Dale. It's so good to have you, right? So now we're on smart investing, right? We're on smart investing, and we talked about ETF. Thank you for power sharing. We're talking about ETF. So for the people that don't know, ETF is just exchange traded funds. That's what it's called. And I'll go quickly. Exchange traded fund, it's a basket of stocks. So whenever you made a purchase, like Opal got his own first investment today after the workshop. He just did it today because everybody got the homework that they must purchase their VOO today, right? So everybody, I believe everyone already executed that today. So basically, whenever you buy something like VOO is the Vanguard S&P 500. S&P 500 is the top 500 companies in the United States. That's what I mean, top 500 companies. So it means that 500 companies per time, right? Per time. So it means that they are being measured on a quarterly basis to ensure that they are up to par in terms of their cash flow, in terms of their assets, in terms of their liabilities, their income expense, their goodwill. All of those are taken into consideration and tested, right? And they are all competing to remain on the top 500. There's top 600, there's top 1,000. But like the VOO tracks the top 500 companies for the past years. Welcome. Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for joining the live. Thank you so much for the Go Populars there and everyone gifting today. Thank you so much for that. The four pillars, again, for anyone that just joined, get your daily at me, get your, tap out the live, put a comment in the session, and of course, also power share. And if you have Go Populars, that would be pillar number 5. That would be great as well. Thank you so much all for coming. And yeah, we're talking about four pillars. Pillar number 1, which is your income. Save with, just talked about. If you can let your goal, even if you cannot, let your goal be 30 to 50% of your income. Put it aside, 30 to 50% of your income. Let the remaining one go into your expense. Your 70 to 50% of your income goes into expense, but then the remaining one goes into you paying yourself. Where do you now take that 30 to 50% I'm talking about? You are putting it in smart investing. Why is that smart before it? Thank you so much for the roses, right? Why do we have that, right? Why do we have that? The smart behind it. It's because we want safety first. What does safety mean? Why do we? Because there's something, all that you do is you put your money in the bank, right? When you put your money in the bank, there's something called inflation, right? There's something called inflation. What does inflation mean? Inflation is the rate at which you lose your money to, lose your purchasing power. If you have $100 right now, today, last year, that if you take that same $100, what you will get with it is going to be smaller compared to what it was last year. Right now in the United States is at 3.3%. Basically, that's what it is in the United States. Virtues, I like the word. Great way to start the week. Oh, thank you so much for that. Virtuous ad, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for gifting. Shegek, welcome, welcome. Dale, thank you for tapping out the live. And thank you for power sharing. So if all that you do is you put your money in the bank, you realize that VOG is good too, right? It's good, right? But for the purpose of the smart investing workshop, it was just the VO that would said execute that. So they are all executing. Everyone that was in the smart investing workshop on Saturday, all are executing today. So we have raised the price, the price of VOO today. So in case you see it up, that's because we had over 40 people executing on VOO today, right? Just from that class. So understand that 30% to 50%, you keep it, and then you take the remaining, right? You put it towards the smart investing. You put it in ETF, right? Because if all you do is leave your money in the bank, you realize that you are losing it to inflation, right? You might see that, oh, but my number is not reducing. No, it doesn't work that. It is your purchasing power. What can that money, what can it do for you? It cannot, it's going to be less than 3.3% compared to last year. That is inflation. And you don't have control over it because it is the economy, right? You have zero control over it. So what then do you do? Investing, right? Because like the banks will give you 0.01%, but you are losing your money at 3.3%. That's what you're doing. You're losing your money at 3.3%. So what then should you do? You put it towards investment that is going to at least edge against the inflation or increase it, right? Or even beyond. So if you put it in an IE savings account, yes, your money is going to be protected. And at the same time, right now, Capital One is doing 3.3% interest, right? That's what you get. So you are basically not losing your money at 3.3%. You can do so far at 4%. You can do Vero at 5%. But that is not even, it's your regular bank account, right? But then to take it to the next level, which is you're not going towards the stock market, not fully buying individual stock, because when you buy individual stock, the risk is higher. So if you do not, you just want to stay in between. What is the frequency of buying ETF? Every 2 weeks, every paycheck. We talked about all of this in the workshop. All right. Everything, all of this in the workshop. I opened my account, but I missed the Zoom meeting. What do I do? Yes, you get the replay. Okay, we'll get the replay. I'm going to show you how to get the what's it called? You get it. I'll show you after. So for all the people that missed it, okay. So does Capital One have to be direct deposit? I think so. I think you need to have at least one direct deposit. Thinking about it now, I think you need to have at least one direct deposit. But check it. You can just check the best high yield savings account and just see the requirement. I want to make sure that I know. Thank you so much for the roses. I wanted to make sure that I got that right. I just wanted to make sure I got that. So now think about it. So once you have but in that's IE savings account, but for smart investing, right, it is in between. You don't put your money in the bank, but at the same time, you are not all the way in the stock market, because you could lose your money in the stock market. Let's be realistic. That's the part of the reality. You could lose your money in the stock market. So what then do you do? It's still going to be in the stock market, but you are edging against the risk by diversifying your portfolio, whereby instead of you buying one stock, which of course something could happen for whatsoever reason, that company goes down. We all heard about Southwest, right? Southwest just, went down overnight, shot it in between everything, right? They've gone through bankruptcy 2 times. They've, and 17,000 people lost their job. 17,000. The other day was Oracle, 30,000. That is 47,000. These are people's father. That's like 47,000. What's it called? Lives and families impacted, right? So just think about it that way. That is the way people that invested in Southwest, right? I don't even know. Are they publicly traded? I'm not sure if they are publicly traded. Like people that invested in Southwest Airline, right? That's how they would have lost their money, right? That's basically what it means. But think about it. If you bought ETF, right? And does it true? And does it have to be that you have a steady amount like 5,000 each month? I don't think so. I think any amount, $100, right? $100. So far, I think it's maybe comes from employer, but check it because I want to make sure that I am not giving you the wrong information because it's May already and I've not checked it this May, right? Just check best IE savings account and you see all the requirements right there. I just wanted to make sure that I don't provide wrong information. You're welcome, yeah. You're welcome. So let's keep tapping out the life. Let's get the 4 pillars. Get your daily at me if you have not gotten, right? Tap out the life. Okay? Tap out the life. Okay, tap out the life. Send a message. Just say, put something in the comment. What's your financial goal, right? Or where you connecting from? Put it in there and also power share, right? Power share. And follow if you have not followed, okay? Follow if you haven't followed and you find this valuable, all right? So thank you so much. And remember, Go Populars is also another one. Go Populars help this life. That is you investing in this life. Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, because when you do that, what's going to happen is that the FYP will send more people here, and that is how we are building this community right here. So thank you all for doing that. Thank you for doing that. Awesome. So ETF, like I said, that basket of funds, right? You are buying. It's what helps you to do is that, like just like Southwest that went down now. Now imagine somebody that is you instead of when two friends, let's talk about 2 friends. One friend decided to invest only in Southwest because Southwest thinks that, oh, Southwest is going to double in 2 years, right? Or in 1 year. Southwest is going to double because, of course, they were doing really well. Everybody is always booked. He never had any singular fatal, no crash, no incidents, nothing. So it's a very good investment, right? Hey, the health hub, thank you. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Yay! And she got the daily at me. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining, and everyone as well. Ajay, thank you so much for the daily at me. Ajay, yeah, thank you so much. I thought, yeah, I didn't see that right. Okay, so like I mentioned, so the first thing first, right? Think about it. 2 friends, one invested in Southwest, right? That just went down. But another friend was like, okay, you know what? It's okay. It might not, it doesn't matter if it doesn't double in 1 year. But I think it has the potential of doubling in 3 years or whatever. And in 3 years, it was like, okay, I'm not just going to invest in I'm not going to, Dale, thank you so much for that. Let's keep tapping out. I'm not going to just invest in Southwest. I will invest in Southwest. I will invest in American Airline. I will invest in Delta. And at the same time, I'm going to invest. But okay, I already have 3 airlines. Let's also have Coca-Cola in there. But they said AI is the next big thing. So I'll have NVIDIA. But then but we know that energy is also a good one. Let's also have Exxon. Something like that. But real estate, all the multimillionaires and the billionaires put money in real estate. Let me put a little bit of property in there and take the same money, right? Each of them have 1,000. Take the same money and uses it that way. So A is Southwest. B is all of those ones that I talked about and more, right? All of those. Who is smiling to the bank right now? A or B, right? A or B. Put in the comment, A or B. With the story of, I'm just using a real life story that happened, Southwest. A or B. A is Southwest only. Your money is going to double in 1 year. B is somebody that's invested not just in diverse of them. Exxon is there, Coca-Cola is there, all of them. We were both given B, right? B, awesome, B. That is it. That's it. And that is the beauty of ETF. I'm glad I was able to use this illustration, right? That's it. B will definitely win. Yes, it might be that A could have also doubled this money because Southwest could have still been doing well, right? Everybody loves Southwest. As a matter of fact, they said they've raised like 35 million or something, as a community trying to say that they want to save it, right? That's it. That could happen. And Southwest doubles his money. But guess what? B is a smarter person because it is not just Southwest. If Southwest goes down, it's okay. But there's Exxon that is booming because of the war, right? And there's Coca-Cola that everybody is still drinking soda. And yeah, and then there's Coca-Cola that everybody is drinking soda. There is also what's it called? There is also Nvidia that has technology, AI that is taking everybody's job, right? So who is smarter? It's B. Even though your money might be in 3 years, double in 4 years, but you know that your money is safe. I always say safety first, right? You probably, if you are new here, everybody already knows my story. I was Mr. A before, 6 years ago. Trust me, I was extreme Mr. A, where I did this consistently, and I lost consistently. I lost close to 100,000, 99 and a little bit change. That's what it was, right? That's what I lost doing A, right? Doing day trading, options trading, and of course, doing penny stock. That's how I lost money because I wanted it quick. But on this side, then I moved after I lost money, moved to real estate fully, and then from there also started investing. Got the courage after getting education, got the courage to start investing in the stock market again. After doing my research, and that's where I realized that people like Warren Buffett, the multimillionaires, that's where they put their money, and that's how they're saying that okay, that's the number one cash and cash equivalent. But option is good, right? Well, what I can tell you, I'm not going to say it's good or bad, but one thing I can tell you that I lost close to maybe 5,000. I didn't lose so much. And I tell you, my friend lost $50,000. $50,000 in 5 days on Tesla options trading. What's the one that goes up, right? Everything was like, oh, it was going to go up. Then unfortunately, everything $50,000 in 5 days. Then he was left with $1,000. The one that she was even angry and she left the $1,000 there for you to, what do they call it? The people that do options trading, they know it. She lost everything in one. Options is even worse. It's called, for me, I call it gambling. You're saying that you're gambling against that betting against the stock is going to go up, right? What if it goes down? Then you lose money. So yeah, I'm not, but people that understand, but that's how part of the way I lost money, right? But yeah, so then Andrew, you have your answer right there, right? You have your answer right there. I hope that answers your question, though. I hope that answers your question. So, and that's it. Because remember, your income it's a lot. It's important for you. Thank you for, let's remember to get our 4 pillars, right? The 4 pillars. Get your daily at me, get your tap out the live, share the screen, and share the page, and of course also do the what's it called? Comment, leave a comment, do go populars and gifting too. Will be up, it will help this life, right? So and option is good, but again, you need to be smart about. Yes, that's it, right? I can only tell you, I just told you my experience, and I believe that you got it, right? I believe you got it, Andrew. Okay, perfect. But thank you so much for that, Dale. Thank you for explaining it for yeah. I'm still leaking the I'm still upset with it, right? Thank you all for sharing the live. Thank you all for tapping out the live. We're doing absolutely great today. Yeah, perfect. Let's keep tapping out the live. So basically, we have that income, right? Basically, then you put it towards the ETF using the Southwest and So it just makes sense for you to be, you see, when I say smart, you see this illustration I gave you, that the first one is investing, right? Just put it in, thank you so much for that. The first one is investing, basically, right? Investing, which is Southwest. You invested in Southwest, and that's it. The smart investing is you are investing in Southwest, American airline, every other thing. Thank you so much for the follow, right? All of that, so we go with B, and everybody agreed that it just makes sense, with B. So we go with B. So what then is that B? Because you are now wondering, so what should I buy in that B? So for those that are, we had the smart investing workshop on Saturday, and what we number one across board was VOO, right? Which is the top 500 company, and the reason is because the fees are low. Then the other part of it is it has the trend over 30, 40, or whatever years, right? It has returned between 8 to 12%. As a matter of fact, with the data that I showed on the smart and the workshop, we even saw that it has averagely in the past 10 years. We had the 5 years data, we had the 10 years data, and then we also had the year to date, and then we had 2025, right? Over the time, you see it was between 14 to 15%. Remember, I always say 8 to 12%, but that's averagely, right? Because if you add 2008 to it, I think it brings the average down. But for the past 10 years, it was 14 to 15%. So it means that if, as a matter of fact, last year it returned 18%. That's what it returned last year. So it means that if you had put $10,000, you would have gotten $1,800 last year, right? Yes, but if you had left, if you had put it in a stock, it could have also gone up, right? It could have been times two itself and become 20,000. But the same way, it could have also been the story of Southwest, which is zero as of today, right? Zero as of today. Now, so that's why this, I'd rather take in between, not too aggressive. But the thing about it is when it compounds, when you leave it and it's long term, you would have a long term growth. So the ETF, VOO, using that as an example, another thing why we talked about VOO, and for all those people that joined, please confirm you've already made your first purchase, because everybody had their account opened, we went through the steps, and of course, how to view, the VOO, yes, that was the first one that, that was the homework for everybody to get that today, right? To get it today, but it's way more than that. We have a whole long list more than that, right? But for today, it's the VOO. The VOO gives you the return. It was between 14 to 15%. There was also the SPY, but the fees is higher. SPY was about 0.08 or 0.09, while VOO was 0.02. So all of those fees are the things that goes into it. And I did mention, we did list about 6 things for you to determine why should you pick this, right, over this. Why should you pick SPY over VOO? Why is this good for you? All of those things. How do I open an account? All of that, we talked about that. Just send me a DM. I'll send you the link. I was even thinking of sending an email to everyone, or someone from my team would send an email to everyone. But send me a DM, and everything is in there. Everything that you need to know. We had 4 hours, or even 4.5 hours. Started in 2 o'clock. We did not leave until after 4. So it was a long training. So ETF, right? VOO, top 500 companies, right? And it has returned in the past 10 years 14 to 15%. I'll take that, right? Because even with that, we did compound interest calculation. You showed the compound interest calculator, where we put the amount, it tells you, your goals. If you have a goal, you want to have 4 point something million. And what is your age? If you put your age and you put what's the amount you can afford right now, it's going to tell you exactly what you can, what you should be putting in. You should do that only if you have the extra for the investing. You should do what? Andrew, please clarify. You should do what? Okay. Give me 1 second. So these you should please clarify, Andrew, and thank you for tapping out the like you should buy ETF if you no. As a matter of fact, no. Andrew, you should this is you are doing this by paying yourself. As a matter of fact, you should remove your investing before every other thing. You should pay there's something, maybe you would have heard this, pay yourself first, right? Pay yourself first. And what does pay yourself first mean? It means that, first of all, you take your money, remove the money that is going to go for your investor. Because remember, this is going to be, if all that you're doing is you're funding your bills, that's all that you do with your income, you'd realize that you're going to stay, that's what makes people stay stuck. And they work to 65 to 67. And even at 67, they cannot still, they still, I'm just trying to start that by paying myself. Yes, you need to start. That's, as a matter of fact, we had automation. Automation is also a part of it. Automation. So how you can do it such that you are paying yourself first automatically, basically. That is part of it. I needed to address this. So far, it's just like taxes. You pay the government, right? They take their money before you even get your money. That's the same way. Before you start paying the bills, pay yourself, right? Meaning invest first, right? So it means that you need to already figure out what exactly is my income, how much is my bill, so what is this investment, and stick by it and let it be like, okay, you know what, I'm targeting 30%, I'm targeting 50%, even though everything looks overwhelming right now, but my goal is this 30% is going to amount to $1,000 every single month, right? Or $500 every single month. Yes, I might be able to do $100 right now, but as I'm getting pay raises, as I'm changing, I'm doing things and all of that, I'm changing jobs, I know that my goal is $500. And then you automatically, before any other thing, you're funding that intentionally. And that's how you can get the freedom. Right? If you do it the other way around, you realize that nothing is going to be left, because guess what? Black tax is going to come. You would realize that that's when you realize that pay yourself first. Yes, that bill pay yourself is always 30%. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be, right? But let it be your goal. Because right now, if you're making 60,000, right? And your bill is already, you have children, you have children, you have your spouse and all of that, or maybe you're making 50,000. It could be, right? And the bills you already have student loan, you have all of those kind of things, right? It might be the situation right now. Make sure, even if it's 5%, even if it's 10%, don't let it be an excuse for you not to do. So think about it. You can invest with $1. Just set it up. And that's why we did that on Saturday. It's a workshop, it's not a class. Just so you are forced to open the account, and then you are forced to start buying regardless. I guess the earlier we start, you should start now. As a matter of fact, Andrew, I'm on your case. You should start now. Pay yourself first, even before. Okay, that's not what I mean. Right? Invalid. That's not what I mean. That is not what I mean. Of course, you're going to eat. Remember the things that I always talk about, your four walls. Trust me, eating is not even in the scheme of all of this, right? Eating is not, right? My four walls, basic needs are your groceries, your food, right? Feeding, your housing, so mortgage or rent, your utilities, light, heat, and whatever. Then your transportation. There's something that takes you to go and get that income, right? Right? So that is the only thing. But a lot of times, this that I'm saying, right, is not usually the problem. The problem is the extra. You want to impress somebody, you want to look rich, you want to show people that have arrived. That's where the main problem is. That's what is eating that money. Thank you. Now you have already nailed it. You see, I like you, Invalid. I like you a lot. I think you should, you might just be a very aggressive mod. I would have, you and Dell. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So before DoorDash, before liquor, before Gucci, before Lobotini, before Mercedes, you see those extra things, right? Before those party clothes. Yeah. Before those party clothes, like they're inviting you for your party for a party, you are not the one going. It's not your wedding. It's not your whatever. Before those black taxes, right? Before those Chanel bags, right? So those are the things. You can buy all of those one later. Just wait for another 5 years. Wait for another 10 years. Think about it. What you're doing, you see that 30% and 50% I'm talking about. Think about it. You are opening the ground, just like, you are opening the ground and you are putting the seed in the ground, and that you're just waiting that, okay, instead of you eating that seed right now, or the fruit right now, you put it in, you bury it, and then it germinates into beautiful strawberries and beautiful, bananas, all of those fruits. You put one and then you get many. That's basically it. Just like in this life right now, right? If you get your go populars, like Dell just did go populars, can you see that we are seeing more people here, right? When you do all of those taps, right? All of those 4 pillars that I talked about, when you share, you see that this life is going to start growing. That is investing, right? And when that happens as well, you are helping this community. You are also giving back to the society, because all that I'm doing is helping as many people to get a knowledge of this. And you are also a part of the contribution to build financial literacy, because a lot of us, this is not in the school curriculum. All they taught us is that income. That's it. That's where it ends, right? So when you open SOFA, then from there we take part of the invest. No, Andrew. SOFA is just basically high yield savings account. Is your regular, I don't know, can you confirm that your bank account right now? Maybe Bank of America, Wells Fargo. So SOFA is just one of those. But the only thing is that the interest that you get is different. Your Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo will give you 0.01%, right? But then your SOFA is going to give you all of these other ones that you're going to see, high savings account, you're going to get 3%, between 3 to 5%. Now, when it comes to investing, it's totally different. You're not investing through the bank. You are investing you're going to have to open a brokerage account. Okay, a brokerage account, then that's where you will start buying those investments. All right, you need to change those 4 pillars to pay yourself first. Okay, pay yourself first, then start paying them ETF, real estate, stock. Okay, all right, pay yourself first. Okay, I'll think about that. Thank you. But I saw the option that you can use it to invest in SOFI. Invest what in SOFI? You can SOFI high yield savings account. It's just a bank account. It's not an investment account. All right. That was why I needed, okay, those banks account don't give you much. So far, all of those high yield savings account will give you something, right? They give you something better than the bank account, right? They give you something better than Bank of America. So instead of 0.01%, instead of you getting $1 or your 10,000, you're going to be getting $300 on your 10,000, $500. However, if you invest it, right, you're going to be getting 1,800, 1,500. You're going to get times 3 of that. So you can either, okay, you're welcome. I'll tell. Yeah, you can either put it in you can either put it in the one that gives you $1 or the one that gives you $500 or give you 1,500, times 3 of that. So it's your choice, right? But what I always say is that your emergency fund is the only thing that should be your high yield savings account, because it's liquid, is your regular bank account. But then anything outside of your emergency funds, those 4 walls for 3 months, 6 months, anything outside of that should go into your investment, because the smaller it is, if you put your money, the smaller the money is, the smaller the interest, the longer it takes for your money for you to build wealth and gain freedom, because that's the entire goal here. Thank you all. Let's do it again. The pay yourself first, right? Invalid. That's what you said. Pay yourself first. Let's do it. Let's pay ourselves by pay ourselves in this life. Let's tap out the life. Get your daily at me if you have not done it. Tap out the life. Get your daily at me, okay? And of course, get your share it, right? Share it to everyone within your contact. If you don't know how to share, just press my forehead on the screen, and then your contact is going to come and you would share it with all of them. And you see a lot of people, that's you, sharing with your friends, your enemies, everybody. Let them come and learn. You see that your enemies will love you after, right? Because everybody loves wealth. That's why it's easy. Everybody. And then get your daily at me, right? It's 1 cent. If you don't know how to go about it, you click here, it costs you 1 cent. Go Populars will help here. Get popular. And what was the other thing? Also ask question and let me know where you're connected from. What is your wealth goal? So back to the point. So smart investing, ETF it's a very good tool, right? It is a very, very great tool. Because yes, it might not grow your money like now, right? But what does it do? It helps you, it keeps stability, and of course, over time, there's something called the rule of 72. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that, Invalid. Right? Everybody saw that I said, suggestion, you come to this life, pay yourself first, at yourself and presenter. Okay, at yourself and presenter. I like that. All right. So basically, but let's keep tapping out the life. Okay. Let's keep tapping out if you have found value, get your daily at me. I mean, if you've been here for, I always say that, how do you know you found value? If you have been locked in here for like 3 to 5 minutes, then it means that you found value, right? So get your daily at me is 1 cent, and go Populars and look at the gifts, whatever gallery, and also bless that as well. So back to it. So get your how do you do that? Just basically open the account, fund the account, and of course buy once you fund the account, have your buy your asset right there. Once you buy the asset, basically set the automation and let it go, right? There's something called rule of 72. That's where, because all of these things that we're saying, it's the power of compounding. Let me give you an idea. So let's assume that you have $10,000, or and if you want to know how to get 10,000, that's $27 a day for a whole year. You want to know how to get 10,000 in 2026. If you are started in January, it's just you $27 a day. That's what it means. Simple. So it might just be that your lunch money and your coffee money that's your 10,000 right there. If you stop it, you have your 10,000. So think about it. You have 10,000 with the rule of 72, even at an 8% or even lower, your money would double every 7 years. So it means that 10,000 will become 20,000 in 7 years. Your 10,000 becomes 40,000, right? The same 10,000 becomes 40,000 in 14 years. Your 10,000 becomes 80,000 in what? In 21 years. And then your 10,000 becomes 160,000. You did not add any other thing to it in 28 years, or even less. A lot of times it's way less. Not even with the S&P 500. Now that is like 15%, 15% for the past 10 years. So it tells you that your rate of return is even way, way higher. Like your rule of 72, like if we just did 27 years, it's probably going to be in 20 years, or even in like 16 years or 15 years. But you might not see the impact in year one. See, it was just like, oh, year one, year two. Think about it, year one, year two, year three. You are not seeing anything. Then in year 7 or year 6 or year 5, a lot of time people are not just that patient. And then year 14, you see what happens. And then it goes like that. And guess what? You tripled, or, your money becomes, that's the power of compound interest. All right. Power of compound interest. And then the next pillar, the next pillar. So if you want everything about real estate, I mean about smart investing, we had a whole 4 hours. You send me a DM, and I'll send you the link, because we did have the we have the we have the replay and all of that, right? And you all of the tools and all of that, how you do your search, all of those kind of things, you will find it there. Then all of the homework and all of it, you'll find it there, everything about smart investing workshop. So I will not be talking so much, because we spend 4.5 hours. There is the limit to what I can say in an hour's class. Now, these the other thing, another pillar. So for every other person, so the first pillar was income, right? Income is the first one. Can we get this to 20,000 today? Can we get that? Right? Okay, perfect. You know, imagine the first one is your income, right? What you do with that your income really matters. And then you put it towards smart investing. As you're smart investing, your money is growing, right? It's supposed to help you build your capital. That's what smart investing does. It builds your capital. Okay. So capital for what? Right? Your income, right, helps you to grow your capital. Like your no no to your income is supposed to initiate your capital, because you're getting money and you're funding the smart investing, right? That smart investing is supposed to grow it further. You're saving 10,000, that your 30% to 50%, right, is 10,000 in 2026. That your 10,000, you put it in smart investing, right? In the year, it becomes 12,000. So it helps to grow your capital. Now you do it next year again, another 10,000, another 10,000. By year 3 or year whatever, or you increase it to 20,000 next year, and then by year 3 you now have 30,000, or you now have 40,000, because it's growing as well, right? Where then do you put it? Because you put it in something that even now makes the journey even quicker and faster. Because all you want to do is you want to make sure that in this your investment journey, or in this your freedom journey, because it's a journey, right? It's a journey. If you are moving towards freedom, right? If the step that you are taking, it starts with your income. It's like a step. You are moving towards the freedom is here, and you're trying to catch up with freedom. If all that you do is this income, you will see it's going to take you forever to get there, right? It takes you a long time. So this is interesting. Yeah, thank you for that, right? Let's keep tapping out the live. Let's get our daily at me, right? And of course, comment in the section, follow if you haven't followed, and of course, tap out the live, look at the gift gallery, and also do what you can. What is CD? CD is certificate of deposit, or is it currency deposit? I always mix it up, right? It's a way that it's all of this short term. It's almost like you fixing your money, basically, right? For a certain period, you put your money in for a certain period and you get a certain return, basically. And right now the CDs are not. I even tell people, is it even up to 4% right now? That's why I do not put my energy on it. It's like you're locking your money, except you're trying to drive discipline. So it's almost you put your money in there, and of course it returns your money. It gives you a fixed amount, right? Okay, they're going to give you, they might say that, okay, on your money you will get a 3%, you get a 4%. The last I checked, it was like 4% or something, and I think it's even gone lower right now. And it's for a fixed period. You cannot take that money, right? So for me, I don't focus my energy on it, because with that same interest, you can actually get IE savings account. But it's a good question, right? But just wait, right? One locks your money, and the other one, you can have access to your money freely, except you just want discipline. That's when the only time I would recommend that. So think about it. This is freedom. That's what everybody, I mean, that should be the goal. Even if you are making $500,000, $1 million a month, right? That's what you are making, and you are still trading your time for money. you'd see that you would still stay stuck and be unhappy. What makes people happy is the ability to, like, okay, you know what, I need to live, I can live life to my own terms. You're welcome. I can live life to my own terms, right? I can, nobody controls my time. Nobody, I want to be in Hawaii right now and I can go to Hawaii. But my income does not stop, right? Because the only reason why you're here right now on that job doing it today is because you got bills to pay. You know that if you are not there, your income stop. But what does not make that income stop, right? You're getting the freedom, and then your income does not stop. You have freedom, and that's really the goal. All right. So it is, you see the one in between, that's smart investing. And the second, the third pillar that I'm about to talk about, real estate, that's what is going to help you get there. If you stay here on this income, you would remain there, you keep chasing. Financial freedom will be chasing, will be running, right? You'll be running, you'll be working, financial freedom will be running, right? But if you want to get financial freedom will be, running, but then you will even be running faster. That is how that's how it's meant to be. And that's how you should do it, right? And this that I illustrated is what keeps somebody retiring at 40 or at 45, right? And somebody that is retired at 67 and that still has to work. That's the difference, right? That's the difference. It's not like they can be earning the same thing, but guess what? If one person is just using the income and not investing it, this person is going to get to 67, get to 70, and still be working. But you see that real estate and smart investing is what is going to make this person retire in 10 years, in 45, at the age of 45, in less than 50. People are retiring now. It doesn't even matter that you want to retire, but at least you have the options, right? You have the choices, right? It's not like you are forced. That's the most, it's almost like a jail. You're in jail if you are forced to do something that you don't want to, but you don't have a choice because you have to pay bills. That's why you are doing it, right? Right? It's so beautiful that you do a job when you can do it without even being paid, right? So one is the smart invest. Let's keep tapping out the life. Let's tap out the life. Let's power share, right? And let us get a daily admin and comment, go populars, go into the gift registry and do all of that. Let's keep tapping out the life. Can we get that to 20,000? Can we do that? I believe we can, right? Let's do, because we are wrapping up shortly. Today, it's about 4 pillars. And if you have not follow. We're talking about the 4 pillars of wealth creation. And it started with our income, right? And what do you do with that income? Put some of it towards smart investing. And then we are also going to be talking about what is smart investing, ETF. So if you don't know anything about that, yeah, okay, it takes time to describe that to you, but it's simply ETF, exchange traded funds. You be back again tomorrow and we'll talk a little bit more about it. Otherwise, we had a whole 4.5 hours of the smart investing workshop where you can learn all of that as well. So you can send me a DM on that. So basically that's it. So the other thing is real estate. You see, when we talked about ETF, right? We talked about smart investing. That was very easy. We're like, okay, just buy it, take action right now, fund it, and get it done. When it comes to real estate, the difference between them is that yes, this one might require a little bit more effort. Real estate might require, but then the return that you get when it comes to real estate is absolutely unbelievable, right? Because with real estate, real estate is one asset that will pay you in 6 different ways. Real estate will give you cash flow. And what are real estates? The simple one that I will just keep it simple now because we're wrapping up. And let's keep tapping out the life. Can we all power tap? Can we power tap? Opal, a Mabel, a J, S33 user, Maestro, let's do the 4 pillars. Let's do lazy mom, Emma. Welcome here, and let's power tap and let's power share one time. Share with your friends and family. Let's tap power tap. Let's do the 4. What did you call it? Invalid. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself and pay this life. Pay yourself and pay this life. All right. Pay yourself and what's DNR? Pay yourself, DNR. You need help, okay? You need help. Subscribe and follow if you haven't followed, because please check to make sure that you are followed so that you don't miss out. What's the do not rent? Pay yourself and do not rent, guys. Pay yourself and do not rent. I like that. Yeah, pay yourself and do not. That's what we're doing here. Worried, right? Worried citizen. Yeah, that's what. Just listen, and then you would learn how to make money, right? It starts with your income. Pay yourself and do not rent. So let's keep tapping out. Let's share the life. Let's get it to 10. Let's get it 20,000, guys. Let's do that. I know we are locked in. Yeah. Do not rent. All right. Pay yourself and do not rent. And let's power share. Let's share. Press my forehead and share. We're wrapping up now. We are wrapping up now. We are wrapping up the life, and we're wrapping up, still renting and trying not to rent anymore. Dale, let's talk about that as we are all tapping out the life. Don't fall into the trap of what they're saying, all the shenanigans that they're saying about rent versus buy, whatever. I understand there's possibility of rent in certain states, but in all that you do, always own. Remember, I always say that if there's anything anybody should learn from this life is always think about how do you move from being an earner to being an owner. That's the same way. Always think about how am I going to be from a renter, right, to be an owner, right? So even if you have to rent where you are living in your city because it's very expensive or whatever, for whatever reason, or because you are just working there for now, it's not the whatever you want to stay, think about owning somewhere else, because there's so many benefits when it comes to real estate. Aside, the cash and whatever. Yesterday, what was it? The first, I was just getting zeal upon zeal and, payment upon payment. Aside from my regular income, payments are just coming in. My car right now, it's being paid by rent, right? Thinking about that, I need to even make the payment. My car is being paid using rent. Yeah, basically. So that is life motto. Do not rent, BAO. Be an owner. Do not rent, be an owner. Okay. Do not rent. Do not rent, be an owner. Okay, let's pin that. Do not rent, be an owner. Let me pin that right there. It's not allowing me pin whatsoever reason. I don't know. Oh, your account is in private, so it doesn't. I was just trying to pin it. Yeah. So do not rent. So because let me tell you something. The thing about it is, and let's keep tapping out the life. Let's get it to 20,000. Thank you. Let's get it to 20,000. Right? Let's get it to 20,000 so that do not rent, be an owner, right? Do not rent. Do not rent in this place. As a matter of fact, do not rent here. Be an owner of this life. Be part of the ownership of this life. So get your daily at me, because that's what makes you an owner. That's when we know. We do not rent. Don't just be a renter. Don't just come here, hear everything. You don't invest here. You just listen. You don't invest. You don't do anything. You don't tap. You don't get daily at me. You don't go popular. You are just a renter. My rent is 1,900, and I'm dying to change that. The 1,900, depending on the size of your family or where you are at, that 1,900 that you are paying it's mortgage plus extra for somebody like me, because mortgage, You're paying the mortgage and then I'm still getting cash flow on top of it, right? But of course, take your time, get the education that you need, right? Get education. If you want to know everything about that, there's the real estate boot camp. Right now is because of the smart investing workshop, we brought the price down. I think it's at 40% discount right now. So you might want to grab it before it goes back to the normal price. I think it's a 60% discount. We don't just change it from the from the smart investing workshop. So you want to know everything about how to buy real estate. Get that, right? Get that, and I can put the link in the bio shortly, and the smart investing workshop and all of that. So let's keep tapping out the life. Invest in this life. So do not rent in this life. Be an owner. Be an owner. Get your daily at me and tap out the life and comment and do everything. So real estate. Real estate is the only asset class that pays you in 6 different ways. Number one, just like we talked about here, right? Number one is cash flow. Like Opal that is paying 1,900. That 1,900 will buy you, if you use the 1,900, Dr. T, the 1,900 will buy you if you are even doing investment property at 20%, if you put 20% down, you should buy you at least a $200,000 property, right? Thank you so much for the daily at me. Welcome, welcome. You see, she understands the 4 pillars of wealth creation and the 4 pillars of investing in this life, right? Get your daily at me, and of course, do all of the taps, and of course, do the, what's it called? The tapping out of the life, and sharing out the life, and of course, also commenting. See, she commented happy Monday, right? That's how we do it here. So thank you, Dr. Tia, and everyone. And gifting is also, look at the gift registry. Great information. That's amazing. Good. So do not rent. Be an owner in this life, right? Be an owner, right? So the first thing is that your 1,900, right? 1,900 is enough to buy a $200,000 or even more property, depending, right? Because there's something called the reason why I can tell you is there's something called the rule of the real estate rule, right? One of the things is that it has to meet the 1% rule. That 1% rule means the 1% cost of the property. So that's about 190, 200,000, right? And now if you are buying as a first-time homeowner, all you need is 3%, right? 3% of 200,000 is what? Maybe 9,000 or whatever, or 1% of 200, that's 2,000, that's 6,000, So with closing costs, with 12,000, you can buy your first property right there. Yeah, right there. So it's not like it's a big deal. I had a one-on-one yesterday, and one of our goals was she wants to have property. She wants to buy our first rental home. They are renting right now. She's in Texas here. And one of what she said was, yeah, so Paul, yeah, when she said, I was like, oh, why are you still renting? And she said it's because of the down payment. She's such a very beautiful lady, very, very. She said, okay, it's because of the down payment. I'm not a real estate agent. No, I'm not. I'm a real estate investor. One of the pillars that I teach is real estate. I own and manage double-digit real estate portfolio. So smart investing is little compared to what I even do when it comes to real estate. So yeah, so when I was talking to her, she did say that, she wants to buy property. And I was like, okay, so what sort of property do you want? She said, oh, she doesn't know. I was like, okay, that's problem number one. And she said, oh, what it's going to take them. I said, so when are you going to buy it? She said 5 years. I said, why? I was looking at her income, because as part of your one-on-one that you do with me, you're going to get a wealth blueprint, a whole wealth blueprint. Your plan for 90 days, 60 days, 30 days. You're going to get all of that out of that one-on-one. So I already saw her income, and I'm like, so why can't you buy this year? And I explained, we looked at properties together. It was like within the range of 280, 300,000. And I'm like, so So it was just like, and that's the way it works. Because what you don't know, right? I always recommend to people that have a clarity session. Because when we were done, she was like she could literally buy the property because that was even their own income alone. We did not even talk about her husband. So she can even buy the property as of this year, like this year. And in her mind, it's like 50, like in 5 years. Double digit real estate properties, that stocks or real estate. Real estate. Like I own houses, like house double digit houses. Yeah, double digits. Right. Okay. So do not rent, be an owner. And we'll be wrapping up now. Everything we'll talk about. So you want to come back tomorrow, we'll talk about real estate, right? The next pillar. So today we talked about your income. So take out from this life, think about let your goal be between 30 to 50%. It's okay for you to start from wherever you are at. Even, life is life, whatever, just start. Think about it, pay yourself first. That's the first thing first. Pay yourself first. So even if it's $1 or whatever, but let your goal be 30 to 50% because life should not be lifing for so long, right? It won't be lifing for so long. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, life will not be lifing for so long. Thank you so much for the gift. Thank you so much for that. Life should not be lifing for so long. So it simply means that, guys, they held up Dr. T. See her there. She is absolutely amazing. She connects people. Basically, she's a doctor. She's a doctor right there, and yeah, thank you, Dr. T. And I'll just put you right there. I want to start doing things like this where I ping people, like people that are doing all of this. If you guys want it, let me know. I'm just trying to learn all of these things as well, where I can ping people. Okay, so, okay, but thank you so much for that. Yeah, so basically, let's keep tapping out the live. Can we get it to 20,000? We're wrapping up in 2 minutes. Can we do that in 2 minutes? We do, because the school runs. So we talked about income, right? We talked about income. It starts with your income. Get your income 30 to 50% is what you need to put aside. 30 to 50%. Let it be your goal. All right. And then the next thing is with that 30 to 50%, we're putting it towards smart investing, not individual stocks, something called ETF. You want to know everything about smart investing workshop, smart investing, send me a DM or, I don't know, how do I put a link here? How do I do that? Okay, let me do that. Give me 1 second. So I want to just put the link there for everyone that want to the store. I am here, guys. I don't know if you can still. All right. So I'm just going to put I just put the link there. I'm trying to figure out, I'm trying to do better with this. So I just put it there. You'll be able to see it. Don't forget to show. Yeah, so that's it right there. Link, you see the smart investing workshop. You see the real estate. You would also find for those that are looking at, everything is at the discount right now. Everything is not at the full price. So when you click on it, you'll get access to everything. Otherwise, that's it right there. You'll find the link in my bio and everything you need to know. So all my pillars. And then the last one that we'll be talking about, you see all of your income, right? All of your income. That if you are struggling with that, you want to join the Wealth Building Academy. That's going to be in June. I'm hoping to bring Dr. T is still here. Dr. T, we might beg you to come and teach us about how to get into the medical field. You're still here. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. Thank you so much for the gift. Thank you so much for that. So we'll be talking about real estate tomorrow. So you want to come back. If you haven't follow, if you haven't gotten your daily admin, and if you got daily admin, please remember to get your points, claim your points, claim all your points. So it's so good to have every one of us here today. Is this the same link for the real estate? So that is the link to my store. So you'll find everything there, right there in my store. You would see it, and it's very clear. You see smart investing, you would see real estate, you would see the ebook, you would see the 90 days mentorship. Everything is it's still at a discount right now. That was actually for the people that were actually in the class. That's why it's still there. So that's going to be changing today. So if you want to enjoy, everything is almost like 50%. Everything is basically like 50% right now. The one-on-one, if you get the one-on-one, you would be able to get, I think what was it? If you get the one-on-one, you get the smart investing with it, right? If you get the one-on-one, you either get one smart investing with it, or you get the real estate with it, depending on your choices, right? You get one of those. So if you get a one-on-one, you get a 1 hour session so that you can have a clarity, and then you will get the smart investing workshop for free, or you get the real estate workshop for free, whichever of your choices that is your goal. Yeah, you're welcome, Dell. And thank you so much all for tapping out the live. Dell, you did amazing today. And Opal, everyone, you did great. Dell, Opal, Ajay, S33, user, Maestro, Emma. Thank you all. I hope you were able to find value. If you haven't followed, follow. We'll be back again tomorrow, and then we'll talk about real estate, right? That's what we'll be talking about tomorrow, okay? All right, guys. I will get to see you later. Thank you all for bye. Yes, today I'm not sure, pal. I'm not sure. I might not. Later today, I'm not. I don't know. It depends on my energy level. You can see my energy level is even like, I'm just trying. But maybe tomorrow, if I'm not here tonight, I don't know. It depends on my energy. Bye. Thank you all. What time tomorrow is at 1, between 12:45 and 1, between 12:30 and 1 is when you catch me here. 12:30 and 1, you'll catch me here. Okay? In the afternoon. Otherwise, get your daily admin, and also go there, turn on notification bell. So whenever I'm live, you know. All right? Whenever I'm live, you know. Okay? All right. Because at times I do pop-ups as well. All right. Thank you, guys. I love you. Ensure your money is working harder than you do. Be an owner, do not rent. Be an owner, do not rent. And pay yourself first, okay? Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first, okay? All right, guys. Yeah, invalid. I love that. I keep notes of it. I will do that. All right. Bye.